Hello and welcome. So recently I made the melt the ice hat, which I'm wearing now, and it got me thinking about like activism and crafting and the history of a red hat being part of activism. So I did a bit of research and I thought I'd share that with everyone on the internet. Well, I say everyone who watches my videos, which small portion of the internet. On the pattern, it explains that the red pointed hats with tassels were knitted and worn as a visual sign of resistance by the people of Norway against the Nazi regime, to the point where they were outlawed and punishable if worn, made, or distributed. So I've had a route around online and I found some info on the history of the red hat in Norway, and I'll include some links in the doobly doo so that you can have a read of those for yourself. There's a Norwegian folklore character called Askeladden, whose name translates to the Ash Lad. He was the youngest son of the family, described as the run to the litter, being small and weak, but he was very smart. In his stories, there'd be a problem that he has to overcome using his wits rather than using strength. And in the end, he defeats the bad guy and wins the heart and hand of a princess, all while wearing his signature knitted red cap with a pom pom. Also popular on Christmas cards is the Fjordnisse. Fjordnisse means barn elf. These are small elves with a pointy red hat with a tassel on. They inhabit farms living in the hayloft or barn, and they'll act accordingly by how they're treated by the other inhabitants of the farm. If they're treated nicely, then they'll do various farm jobs and things about the farm to help out. If they're treated badly, then they'll play tricks. Traditionally, a bowl of rice porridge is left with a Fjordnisse on Christmas Eve to thank him and also bribe him into being good in the years to come. In the French Revolution of 1790, the wearing of red hats was a symbol of the resistance, and the popularity of it as a symbol of resistance stayed with the Norwegian people, who at the time were still under the rule of Sweden. In April 1940, Norway was occupied by Nazi forces, and in December 1940, the use of the Norwegian flag, as well as its colours, red with a blue and white cross, was banned. Any use of these were seen as resistance against the Nazi occupation, so people made Christmas cards with the flag being held by a Fjordnisse with accompanying text saying Merry Norwegian Christmas. These cards were seized and banned, so people took to wearing the red pointy hats of the Fjordnisse. They didn't always look the same, as they tended to be homemade ones rather than mass produced. Then, when the wearing of these hats was banned, people turned to wearing paper clips on their lapels instead, as these were smaller and a sign of keeping things together the way a paperclip keeps papers together. I've seen a few negative posts about people making the hat only to show off that they're doing something without actually doing anything material to help, and that it's not helping in any way. I disagree with it being performative for most people who've made and posted about the red hats. The people making these hats have bought the patterns, so they've raised money, and they're posting about it online, which is an absolutely fantastic way to get the word out there and encourage others to also do the same. So I think they are helping, even if all they've done is bought the pattern, made the hat, and posted about it online. If this was about a different topic, for example, just doing a gym workout, then I can see it being described as being performative, because it's the old, if I go to the gym and I don't post about it, did I really go to the gym? But this is more of a call to action. And if we don't post about it, how would people know that the fundraiser and the pattern exist? And if people don't know they exist, how can they donate or buy the pattern? Raising money for charity needs some sort of marketing. If people don't know about it, then they can't donate and they can't help, they can't get involved in any way. I've done a few charity fundraisers in the past, and the best thing I could do to let people know about it was posting online. The people saying it's performative are also assuming that the furthest these people have gone is posting about it online. But the person could have made the hat and then worn it and gone to a protest or gone to help their neighbours who are being affected by ice raids and that sort of thing. If they don't post about actually getting involved with things out in public, it's likely to keep their identity private, because there is a history of people being sought out by law enforcement for helping in these sorts of situations. Or they might be in a position where they can't physically go and do anything to help due to disability, or in my case, being physically too far away to be able to actually do anything in Minnesota. I'm not in Minnesota. I'm not anywhere in the United States. I'm not even anywhere in continental America. I'm in the UK, as you could probably assume by my accent. So it's a little bit difficult to get there and help. And even if it is performative, they're still helping fund it and spread the word to those who can and want to do more. So, in conclusion, fuck fascism. I've put some links in the doobly-doo for other places where you can donate if you want to help folks out. A couple of them are UK based because I'm also in the UK, and as well as one aiming to help people affected in Minnesota, all of which I have and continue to donate to myself. I've also put the links to the two melt the ice patterns, the knitting and the crochet one. So if you want to give that a go, you can find them there. So thank you for joining me for something a little bit different. I don't write often, so researching and writing this was a new experience for me. Let me know in the comments if you've ever taken part in activism, crafting or otherwise, but obviously only if you're safe to speak about it. If you'd like to find me elsewhere, the link to my link tree is also in the doobly-doo. Bye for now.